So the situation was I was picking him up for reparation after he'd been at education in the morning, but he didn't go in. So then obviously that started the day off on the wrong foot with Mum because she wanted him to go in. But as the door opened, I was just approached with like this screaming and shouting, and I was just like, I don't care if he's coming back or not. Like, I'll probably just lock the doors and not let him in. He's punched a hole in the bathroom wall and he's called me all these horrible names, and just because he didn't go to school, but he and then he wanted to play on his PlayStation or something, but she was trying to set boundaries with him, and he was just like, no, like, I'm just going to do what I want, basically.
Yes.
So I brought him to the session anyway, and you could see it was like playing on his mind. Like, he was worried about, he started telling me like, oh, well, I'll just go here and see my friends. But like the place he was going to walk to was like a 2-hour walk away. And I was like, okay, you can't do that. And then he was just obviously trying to think of solutions for himself, but obviously they weren't like safe or practical really. But he was just sort of in that state of like panic, like, oh, I don't know if I can actually go home, if she meant it or not. When he was diffusing the situation with Mum after, to like use emotion coaching himself,
Yes.
kind of thing,
Yeah.
and just sort of get an understanding of where she was coming from, and like say to her like, I understand why you were feeling so upset. I said this to you, I've done this. And he said, but she'll think I don't love her anymore, so I need to like prove it rather than just saying I'm sorry. And I was like, problem solving with him. Okay, how could you prove that you meant what you said, that you're sorry, and that you're gonna be different, sort of thing? And I said I would start with going to school tomorrow maybe, because that was the root of the problem to begin with. So he was like, yeah, but I don't want to. And I was like, okay, but like, you can see where she's coming from. She wants the best for you and she worries about you and she wants you to go to school. But obviously throughout the session, this is playing on his mind because he's still not sure if he can go home or not yet. So he did that and he felt better about it. And then they both apologised, even though at first he was still angry about the situation. Because just I sat with him and sort of planned, okay, what things could you do different when you start to feel angry and stuff like that. And then he was still worried about going home,
Yes.
but it was okay in the end.
Paige, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You are giving him the tools to help him recover. It's about self-regulation. I'm delighted, Paige. And I hope it gives you an extra toolkit so you don't take all that stress onto yourself and to your shoulders.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Yeah,
definitely made me just think about, okay, what's like the next sort of thing, rather than just panicking and being like, oh, I don't know how to like help this person in need, like, and
yeah,
just sort of panicking. But it did, I feel like it did work quite well, because then when we were in the car on the way back, he was just sort of like, he brought down that defensive side of him and just sort of started talking a bit more like, oh, well, this might happen again, and like my relationship with my dad isn't great, so when he comes home and sees the hole in the wall, he's going to kick off. And he just like started breaking it down to me, like how he is really feeling about the situation and his home life and stuff. So that was good for him to open up like that.
But what a fantastic reparation meeting,
Yeah.
actually, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It,
because
it
he
was
was
the
like, we
best.
were talking about repairing the harm of something that had just happened, and obviously
Absolutely.
within the session of doing something else from
Oh,
the offence as well.
you must feel. I hope you feel incredibly proud about what you did in that session, because that is the heartbeat of reparation, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
a process. It's not a process. It's about that self-reflection. So maybe, just maybe, he doesn't do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.